Hi y'all, it's Allie from Little Hill Homestead. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make your own marshmallows. Seems kind of like a strange one, but we're going to be going camping in a few days and I wanted to make s'mores. And so what I love about homemade marshmallows is they are square, and so you can still roast them the same way when you make your s'more. They just fit so much better than a commercial marshmallow. Plus they taste great and they're actually really not that difficult to make. So first step, if you have a mixer. If you don't, you can do this in a bowl with like a hand mixer. You're going to need some kind of high-speed mixer because you do have to do this for like 12 minutes and you don't want to sit there trying to whisk it for 12 minutes. But you need 3 envelopes of unflavored gelatin. So I'm using like the Knox one. This comes with 4 packets in it. You're just using 3 of them. They just tear open. So you just put them in the bottom of your mixer. And what we're doing now is we're just going to add some water to this. And it's going to allow the gelatin to bloom, which just means it's going to absorb that water and start to kind of do its thing. It'll look a little weird. I'm going to tell you that. I have a half a cup of cold water going in here. And then I'm just going to turn this on low only for a second until the water is kind of absorbed just slightly into it where it's not like a big blob of gelatin stuck there. Okay. That's it. Just enough. You can do it with a fork too if you prefer. Just enough to kind of mix it together. I'm going to take my extra container, and every 3 times I make this, I end up with enough to do another batch. So I'm going to turn you guys around to our stove to do our next step, so hold on. Okay, I have you over at our stove. The next thing I'm going to do is take a 9x13 just pan. I like my marshmallows to be a little bit thinner and more in the pan. You can use a 9x9, but they're going to be some massively thick marshmallows. I'm just taking some cooking spray and I'm going to generously spray the sides and bottom of our 9x13. I'm just going to set that to the side. I've got a big pot. This is like a big old 5-quart or something like that, because anytime I work with sugar, I like to use a big pot because sometimes it will bubble up. And if you've watched my channel before, sometimes that ends up in a disaster. So what we are going to add into the pot is half of a cup of water, a half a teaspoon of salt. This is 1 cup of our homemade corn syrup. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it somewhere on here for you guys. It's really easy to make and it tastes delicious. Plus you probably have the ingredients. And then the last thing you need is 1.5 cups of just regular old sugar. Okay. Forgot to start my soapy water, but it's okay. I'm not going to torture you guys with the running water in your ear. I have a whisk, and all I'm going to do is kind of mix this together so that the sugar and the water and everything is kind of just incorporated. Like, it's not one just big blob of sugar stuck in the middle. You want it to be all wet. Okay. Let me show you really quick. I'm going to move you on the tripod. But see, it just looks kind of, oops, sorry. There you go. It's just white. You can still see the sugar, clearly. You can still see the sugar, but just until it is incorporated. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is you do need a candy thermometer. I've told you guys this before. This is in a Scally. It was really cheap on Amazon. Biggest thing you're looking for is one that has a clip on the side of it. And I like to have one that has this little piece that moves so you can set like what temperature you're looking for. In our case, we're looking for 240 degrees. So I'm going to clip this on the edge. My stove tends to run hotter on one front corner than it does on the other. So I'm going to set this on the cooler part of my stove and hope that it reaches the bottom of the pan, which it does. So it's just starting to bubble, of course, on the hotter side, like I was pointing out. You're not going to stir this at all right now. You're just going to let it come to temperature. We're bringing it to a softball stage, not the sport, the candy temperature. 240 degrees is what we're looking for. This is going to basically get our sugar and everything incorporated together, and it's going to start to become, it won't because it's hot, so you're not going to know this, but it becomes kind of like a taffy consistency if you were to cool it all the way back down. So I'm going to take my spoon, And I'm just going to stir around the edges because my pan, for some reason, collects sugar on the edges. So I'm just going to lightly stir it so we don't get any clumps of sugar stuck. So now it's kind of dissolved into there, and so I'm comfortable letting it not be stirred again now that I've done that part. So we're looking for 240 degrees. This can take 5 to 10 minutes depending on your stove. I have mine on high, so it should start jamming the temperature pretty quickly at this point. We are so we're just gonna let this do its thing. When it gets close to 240 degrees, I'm gonna bring you guys back, which, like I said, is like maybe 5 minutes. I just don't have any rants for you today. Could I come up with them? Probably. It's beautiful outside, and I can hear baby bluebirds in my yard, which is awesome. But I'm already at 150. I'm not going to torture you guys with my crazy rant, so this turns into a 25-minute video. But I'll be right back. I wanted to show you guys really quick the kind of bubble you're looking for. Do you see how, like, it's just bubbling away, doing its thing? That's what we're looking for. You don't want it to be too much lower than that because you're trying to get this really hot and good to go. We're actually right at 240 degrees right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing you guys around back to the KitchenAid mixer or back to your mixer or whatever you're going to do. And I'm going to set this next to it on a hot pad. So I will bring you right back. Okay, we're back over at my mixer. I have a couple tricks on this one because this is going to get really, really sticky. I don't want it to totally stick to the top of my pan and be really hard to clean later. So I take a little bit of cooking spray and I just lightly do the top edge of my bowl before I do this. Our gelatin is still in the bottom of that. We let it bloom for 10 minutes while this was cooking. So it's ready to be used. I'm going to turn this on low. I'm hoping you can hear me over the mixer. Our gelatin's in the bottom. It kind of just looks like an icy at this point now that it's absorbed the water. It's not cold, but it looks weird. This stuff is like molten lava hot, so please be careful with it. But you're going to add a tiny bit at a time while this is on low medium because you don't want it to splash on you. So I have it pretty, let me turn it up 1. All right, I have on my mixer, this is 2. So you just do a little bit at a time so that it incorporates. It does bubble a little bit as you do this, but that's just it hitting the cold, doing stuff, it's fine. The gelatin is slowly mixed in with our sugar mixture was what we're looking for, so we're good. I'm doing like, I don't know, a quarter cup at a time maybe a little less than that. All right, we're to the bottom. I'm going to tip it and let it drain a little bit. Okay, and now that we have that out of the way, you're going to turn this on to a higher rate of speed. But again, be careful because it can splash. Okay, I have ours at 8. I'm going to try to get it to 10 when I'm comfortable. But what this is doing is it's going to cool your mix back down and aerate it at the same time. I hate my mixer. Okay, you guys can probably tell. Okay, I'll get away from it. You probably can tell. Hold on. Alexa, set a timer for 12 minutes. Okay, I have my timer set for 12 minutes. I won't keep you guys here the whole time. This is just going to mix and mix and mix. The steam is coming off of it. It'll slowly start to cool down. And it cooling down along with the air getting whipped into it is what's going to create that marshmallow texture you're used to. Right now, it just looks like a whitish brown liquid. Nothing fun. Let me show you. Yeah, nothing fancy yet. But anyways, I used my 1997 KitchenAid mixer until it died. And I have this one. I don't love it as much as my old one. But the old one, the motor is giving out. And then one of my paddles actually snapped in two, which I thought was pretty impressive. I didn't know they could do that. So I'm back to using the newer one, which is like the professional HD. I don't love it. I wish I did because we spent pretty good money on it. But anyway, it's fine. It does the job. But the motor gets really hot on this one, which I think is a little bit weird when you have to let stuff cook for so long. Anyways, my timer is set for 12 minutes. I'm just going to walk away and I'm actually going to go do dishes. And then I will bring you back when we're at our 12-minute mark. But let me show you one more time before I go the consistency because it's already changing. See it? That's what you're looking for. Just let it keep going, and we'll be back in a few minutes. It's a halfway check-in, you guys, and I wanted to show you what we're at. Come on, look at that. Isn't that awesome? I love food science and kitchen science and chemical reaction stuff. I think it's rad. We'll be right back when the timer gets to 12 minutes. Y'all, I'm so mad right now. I just recorded probably 5 minutes of me removing the marshmallow from the pan, and it wasn't recording. So what I did is at the end of 12 minutes, this beautiful gooey mixture, I added 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I mixed it for like another 30 seconds, not even 15, just to get it incorporated. And then using a spatula, I scooped as much as I could out of our dish. This stuff is sticky. It's like the La Brea tar pits that the dinosaurs got stuck in and never came back. So just be careful. Not be careful. It's not really hot. You'll be fine. But one of the tricks I shared with you guys is it gets, I mean, look at this stuff. It is stringy and stuck to everything. And it's like playing with marshmallows. But I'm getting it in my 9x13 grease pan. I cannot believe this didn't record. I was so excited. You didn't miss much. All you did was miss me making a mess trying to get this out of the pan. But like this will come off the pan when you get hot water on it. So I have some Pam cooking spray. You can use avocado oil, whatever. I just spray that on my hands, and then I push down on the marshmallow mixture to get it somewhat flat in our 9x13 pan. Not flat, but you just don't want like a big blob on one side. And that is it, you guys. I can't believe I didn't get it to record when I was coming out of the dish, but you will have a lot left. Do you see all that's left in here? It's a lot. But it is what it is. So all you missed, can't believe it. After the 12 minutes, it basically was this consistency. I added 1 teaspoon of vanilla, spun it for another maybe 10 seconds to get it all incorporated. Then you scoop it into your 9x13 pan. And that's where we are now. So push it down kind of like you would Rice Krispie treats. This makes awesome Rice Krispie treats, by the way, guys. That's it. So it has a little bit of cooking spray on it, but that's what you need. Before we cut it and make marshmallows, you need to let it sit until it's completely cool, which is like maybe 4 hours. Don't put it in the refrigerator or anything like that because the condensation will mess with the consistency of it. But is it good? Y'all, I don't know if you can see it. It's like it's like the best marshmallow you've ever eaten. Flavor comparable to marshmallows that you've had your whole life, but like on steroids. It's delicious. I don't usually, like when we go camping, I won't make roasted marshmallows, but these I will because it's that good. Anyways, so for the next 4 hours, just to make sure nothing gets in it, I have a lid. I'm going to pop on top of it just loosely. You can also use plastic wrap. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But just go ahead and put it in, if it's cold outside, you can move it outside. I'm just going to stick mine on my island and let it cool. Actually, I'll probably just leave it here because I don't disturb things over on this table very often. Go soak the heck out of this thing. If you really want to eat the marshmallow, though, you totally can because that's what I'll end up doing. I already ate lunch. Don't judge. Oh, good. But 4 hours, and then I'm going to show you guys how to cut it. Because that's like a whole other thing in itself. Imagine how sticky this is trying to cut it. Woo! I'll show you the trick. But I'll see you in 4 hours. Hey guys, we're back. It's been a few hours. These are nice and cool. Here's our beautiful marshmallow blob. In order to get these to be shelf stable or to travel with, you need to coat them in a little bit of powdered sugar. Some people use cornstarch and powdered sugar. I don't find that necessary. I just use straight up powdered sugar. To cut these can be a little bit challenging, but I'm going to show you a couple tricks. Cooking spray. It's your best friend with these. When you put the powdered sugar on it, you won't notice that there's the cooking spray left over on it. You can use a knife. So all you do is spray your knife so that the marshmallows won't stick to it, and you kind of just slide it down the line. I do it about the size that you would for a s'more or a piece of graham cracker. And you kind of just go down the line. Sometimes I'll take it out of here and do it straight onto the cutting board if it's being a little bit difficult. Boop. But do you see, like, hello, it's awesome, right? So these ones I'm gonna just square it up. If you find that they are sticking pretty good, just resaturate your knife. You can do them whatever size you want. Like I said, I'll do a couple different sizes because, you know, sometimes you want a whole s'more, sometimes you want a half a s'more. Let's be real, we all want a whole s'more. Or if you're one of those people that like burns it and then takes the outside coating off 17 times, you'll still have enough to put on a s'more. The other thing you can do is take scissors. These are clean, just scissors. My hands are also oily. And again, you just put a little cooking spray on the scissor tips or the blades, and you cut them with scissors. This way is easy. If you have young kids, they can help this way too, which is fun. You end up with giant marshmallow strips this way. And again, you just cut them to size. I tend to like the scissor method a little bit better. It's a little easier to use, but everybody has a knife and not everybody has kitchen scissors. So that's basically it. Then what you're gonna do is I have a half a cup of powdered sugar right here. You just take your marshmallow and you're gonna just coat all the sides of it. Not too thick, it's just enough to absorb it, some of that oil that's on it, and also to help the stickiness not stick to the other ones. So I will put it on very, very lightly and then kind of just give it a shake to get off your residual. You see it? It's no longer shiny. And then you store them in a Ziploc or any kind of airtight container. Like I said, we're camping, so I'm putting them in a Ziploc because it's just gonna make my life easier. If I'm at home, I'll put them in a glass container with a lid and, you know, it's fine. But you want to shake off as much powdered sugar as you can, plop it in the bag. And then you just keep going, you guys. I mean, these marshmallows, I should make my husband come in here and do a marshmallow taste test. That'd be weird though. Is it weird to taste marshmallows? But no, it's delicious. This ends up making like 30 marshmallows or 40 depending on the size that you make them. Like that to me is too big, but you never know when you want a monster sized marshmallow. Once you put the coating on them, they're not going to stick to anything like they are currently. But that's it, you guys. Aren't they pretty? Like, let me show you up close. Let me get a smaller one and I'll break it apart for you so I can show you the stretch that you get. Who wants to be my tester? You do. Okay. I should have put a... All right. Let's do the stretch. You guys ready? Oh my goodness. Tell me that's not awesome. Okay. They're sticky like a marshmallow. The flavor, I don't want to say it tastes like Peeps because nobody likes Peeps, but it is not the same as a commercial marshmallow, but it is, if that makes any sense. So these are good. If you want to do different flavors, you could totally put different extracts in them. Peppermint, which would be weird, but or like lemon or different things like that. What if you could make chocolate? I bet you could put some cocoa powder in it or dust them in cocoa powder. I don't know how that would do over a fire though. But anyways, we're just traditional marshmallow people here. But like, imagine this. Come on now. Imagine that toasted and squished in some homemade graham crackers, which we're going to be doing a video for too. But I just ruined my dinner because I just ate 18 marshmallows. But they're just so good, guys. You should go make them. I promise you will not be disappointed. This is a fun recipe. I mean, come on. I'm just going to keep playing with it because, come on, it's so fun. Okay, I'm like a kid stuck in a 46-year-old body. It's okay though. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you guys have any fun recipes that you make with marshmallows, like Rice Krispie treats, ooh, I think I already made it for you guys. We do a brown butter Rice Krispie treat. These in that make it like stellar. They're so good. But try it. I dare you. If I dare you, will you go do it? Even if you're not going to. They're delicious, and you should go make some. But thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go make my husband eat some marshmallows with me so I feel less guilty. Anyway, thanks for watching Little Hill Homestead.